All right, ladies and gentlemen. So in today's video, we are going to be covering a post from an account over on X called Jailburu. Now, this particular account has made a very, very long post that we are going to go over today, detailing a person by the name of Russ Vought, who apparently is a co-writer for Project 2025, a director of the United States Office of Management and Budget, and an acting director of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. You probably ask yourself, well, why are you bringing him up? Well, it just goes to show just how deep all of this actually goes, how ingrained it actually is in the political sphere, and how many of these politicians are so desperate to want to ban porn, ban violent video games, ban all this stuff, because let's be real, it was never going to just be the supposed gooder games, because it never is, right? It never ever is. So we're going to start off with this post here and breaking down one by one. It says currently people are contacting Visa and MasterCard in mass in an effort to get them to explain why they are banning legal content, keyword legal content, from being transacted through their systems. These arbitrary restrictions cause companies such as Steam, itch.io, and others to pull violent and adult video games from their platforms. They continue to remain silent on the reason why they enforce the restrictions on the companies. I surmise they are gagged from speaking through likely threat of regulatory pressure. Now, really quick. So when it comes to companies like Steam and itch.io, they can speak out against censorship without necessarily dragging Visa and MasterCard's name through the mud. Nobody's saying you have to openly attack these companies in order for you to make a statement essentially saying you are against censorship. But the truth is that they're not really doing that, right? They're kind of pointing the finger, so to speak, especially when Steam made a comment about MasterCard essentially lying about not being the ones to put pressure on them. But that's all they're really doing. Steam and itch.io. Itch.io is trying to figure out how they can bring back the legal content by utilizing different payment processors. But ultimately, everything is still down for the most part, aside for the free, not safe for work games, because they can't do anything about the free games, which is why all these developers are suddenly that are fighting against censorship are releasing their games for free. But in any case, then this person says, may I introduce Russ Vought, a co-writer for Project 2025, director of the United States Office of Management and Budget, and acting director of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. This man has already publicly stated his desire to have pornographic content, violent video games, and other types of content that is deemed harmful to children banned from the internet completely. This claim he makes is not based on unbiased scientific testing whatsoever. And it never is, by the way. It almost never is. It's not something that is ever based on actual research or science. And if they do have research, it's usually one of that junk science bullshit that is funded by them for them. So they're like, oh, gee, we're going to fund this research. Oh, wow, look, this research that we funded says exactly what we've been saying for the longest time. Gee, we must be right. Let's go ban these games now that we have actual research. You know, that's what they do all the time. So anyway, in a 2-minute video clip posted on YouTube by The Intercept, the following transcript, highlighted in yellow, shows his intended starting point, which is to start with children. And then he cuts himself off from explaining the next part of the plan of violent video games, etc., as that route has failed twice already in the past few decades. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go over this video. Before we finish reading the rest of this, I want to go over this video and see from the guy's mouth exactly what he is saying here, because the best way to, to listen to him is to hear what he's got to say. So let me bring up the video. Okay, so here is the video from the Project 2025 co-author that was caught on secret camera talking about a national porn ban that he is so desperate to enact. Here we go.
That's when I talk about 50-year issues that we've lost because we didn't have the right framing. That's one of them. And our view is we've got to have a culture that values babies and the life that's created and is focused on the birth rates and makes them a positive good as opposed to a burden.
I have no idea what any of that has to do with video games. I have no idea what any of that has to do with anything. But he's probably going to try to make the correlation that, because people are watching pornographic material, that somehow means that they're not all out there having babies. That's basically it. That's probably the correlation he's going to try to make there, which is absolutely stupid. But in any case,
and so we're always looking for what's the immediate fight leverage point that we can win and win a debate that allows us the next fight to get more of the win than we could have. For instance, right now we came up with an idea on pornography to make it so that the porn companies bear the liability for the underage use as opposed to the person who visits the website getting to just certify that I'm 18.
So he says the quiet part out loud. That is amazing. He says the quiet part out loud, which is okay. So how do we get the conversation to start in our favor where we can win a debate about pornography being banned? Oh, okay. Let's start with age verification and talk about it being for the kids. And then from there, we will continue on in the hopes to eventually get what we want to get banned, completely banned from the internet. This is how it begins. And this is why I keep telling people it never is going to end at just supposedly age verification, because they're starting off with the emotional argument. They want to get everybody emotional. They want you to be able to say in your mind, well, of course, I don't want kids watching porn. Who would say no to that? And most people would agree, right? That they don't want their kids watching that. Of course. So they start off with something that is going to get people emotionally manipulated. And then they sweep in to get what they really want, which is to ban all the porn and ban a lot of video games that are deemed problematic. And it's not just Gooner games. Keep that in mind. It is not just Gooner games.
And we've got a number of states that are passing this. And what happens is the porn company then says, we're not going to do business in your state, which of course is entirely what we were after. Right? So he just admitted that they were entirely after the porn company saying they're not going to do business in that state. So they're essentially hoping about making it a permanent, like 50 state thing, that they will not have the porn companies working in any of these states, basically self-banning themselves. Doing it from the back door, starting with the kids, and then we'd have a national ban on pornography if we could, right? So we would have
say it.
The porn companies being investigated for all manner of human rights abuses. So that's how we approach a problem, and life is no different. We're looking for.
So that's how they approach a problem, by telling people this is about the kids and then using that as a Trojan horse to get what they want banned, actually banned. I mean, they're literally telling you their plan. They're literally telling you their plan. It's amazing.
If we lose elections on this, then we don't have the ability to save babies. We don't have the ability to save life.
This has nothing to do with saving babies or saving lives. They flat out told you that it has to do with banning things that they don't like and censoring things that they don't like. It's completely and utter bullshit. We all know that. Anyway, let's continue back to now this segment, the Twitter post. Let's go back to that. So now that we watched the video, let's see what else it has to say. So it says, now is his position in the CFPB. He has the ultimate authority over payment providers and banks. This is why people who are going to be asking the question, well, how is this all linked? This is how it's linked. Since he has the position in the CFPB, he has the ultimate authority over payment providers and banks, and he has likely been abusing this power to strong arm changes in these privately owned businesses regarding content that he specifically has shown his distaste and hatred towards previously, all clearly telegraphed beforehand many years ago. This was all done in the guise of protecting the children. Admittingly, it is a very solid tactic at the core. But if you use the mantra of protecting the children, it tends to mean that it's just a ploy, usually to further a specific agenda. They are a threat against the United States and honestly the entire world. They are a threat against our democracy, a threat against free speech, and a threat against gamers, a threat against media in general. These are the same people who believe violent video games cause violent things. An entire generation of individuals have been playing Grand Theft Auto, playing Doom, Quake, and other games, but we are not currently, nor will we face a worldwide pandemic of armed car robberies, driving on sidewalks for the fun of it, or people running around with sawed-off shotguns killing demons, or are running people because a video game was made exploring the content. Now, again, guys, this is one of this situation where it's pretty clear that these are very, very old mindseted people. I mean, just look at the guy. Look at the guy's video. The guy's not a young guy, right? He's clearly been around the block. He's clearly shown that he's tried this multiple times, and it's never worked. Every time they tried to ban video games because it was deemed encouraging violent behavior, it's always been proven to not be true. It's never worked in the past. But now what they're doing is they're trying to utilize this argument about, oh, protect the kids, think about the kids, as a Trojan horse to try to eventually win on their ban against porn and violent video games and everything else after that. So again, those in power have been eroding free speech in the law. Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act provides immunity to online platforms from liability for content posted by their users. They are actively attempting to kill this protection to further their goals outlined in 25 by passing liabilities of their user base onto the operators via financial regulation threats and pressure, thus killing speech directly while still keeping in the shadows publicly. He filmed the crimes and posted monetized R-word videos on Pornhub, earning revenue from him and the site owners. This is their attempt to kill Section 230 immunity. You should not be frightened that they may come into power. They already are in power. They are exercising it spectacularly, taking baby steps to erode away your speech, and we've all been asleep at the wheel. So again, this is a pretty wild post, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop this in the description box below, along with a direct link to the video, because I want you guys to see this stuff and make up your own mind about what you think is happening here. But this is some pretty damn good information. And keep in mind, man, I'm going to go over this separately in another video, but Collective Shout is already out here claiming victory. You have somebody called Coralie Allison, who is a member of Collective Shout, saying Collective Shout has successfully campaigned to have R-word, torture games, and incest games removed from gaming platforms, Steam, and itch.io. They're out here literally celebrating this stuff. So again, ladies and gentlemen, these people are absolute losers. They want to tell you what you can and cannot do. They want to control your every move. They want to control your every thought. They want to control what you're allowed to see and not see. They want to be your parents, which is hilarious because parents are supposed to be parenting, but apparently the parents are getting parented by the government. That's what's going on here. So you guys can let me know in the comments down below of this video, what do you think about this revelation? What do you think about that video footage? And what do you think about the situation overall? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. And if you are new here, consider hitting that like and subscribe button as we are on the way to 100K. And I will see you guys on the next one.